Thank you for joining our video and podcast series featuring some of our 2024 Expanding Excellence Award winners. This series is brought to you by IUCX, a nonprofit educational entity that provides the largest forum for utility customer service education and networking in the world. Your host for this series is Julio Morales, Head of Strategy and Engagement for IUCX. Julio, please introduce today's guest.
This year we're recognizing Best CIS implementation projects and winners. And I'm here today with Mike Fratto, IT Director for Consolidated Edison. First of all, congratulations, Mike, on winning this award.
Thank you, Julio. It's a great honor for Con Edison.
So for your project, team building and the team experience was a big component of it. Could you walk us through some of the programs that you implemented to ensure that cohesiveness within the team?
Yes. Our team was made up of roughly 700 full-time employees and about 400 part-time employees across the enterprise. Our system integrator was the main catalyst of all the resources. They had folks offshore in areas of India, Manila, where the offshore team was housed. Internally, we had roughly about 160 full-time Con Edison and Orange and Rockland employees, mainly focused on the analysis, the design work, capturing all the business requirements. We had about 5,500 business requirements for this effort. The team size was roughly 700 full-time employees with another 400 subject matter experts across the enterprise. This effort was pretty tremendous, knowing that you're sitting there with 50-year-old and 25-year-old billing systems. There was a lot of SMEs that we needed to pull into the effort as we were working on our workshops. We had about 286 workshops for our business folks, another 140 plus for our IT workshops. So there was a lot of collaboration, and we needed each and every one of these resources across the enterprise to help us. Our SI, they had most of the resources sitting in Manila and in India. So they attended all our workshops. It wasn't like they didn't participate. After that, we identified about 5,500, so to speak, business requirements, of which it touched 140 internal, external systems, resulting in about 680 to 700 interfaces. We identified just under 400 extensions to the program and 200 reports that were identified. The data conversion piece was pretty significant. We could talk a little bit about that later, but that team had to build about 1,400 objects, and that was far larger than any implementation that I have ever been a part of. And I know the SI said it doubled the amount of work that they've ever seen in any implementation. From my standpoint, this was 3 times larger than the implementation that I was a part of, which was Con Edison's Orange and Rockland financial and supply chain system about 10 years ago.
So it sounds like a very complicated project. Could you walk us through some of those complexities?
Yes, coordination was one of the key items, and believing in the cause. And it might sound easy, but believing in the mission and really wanting to collaborate together each and every day was very key. We had 4 separate vendors, SIs, so to speak, helping us in this effort. We had naturally the main integrator, which was excellent in the widget turning. We had another SI that was very good in change management. We had an SI that was very good, industry best in quality assurance. And naturally, we had the product vendor that helped us. And having them all on the same page, making sure everybody was communicating each and every day was somewhat of a challenge. But we all embraced it. You know, as we started to work through it, we got through the bumps and things started to smooth out. But that was one of the key items.
With all of those project complexities, I'm sure you had similarly a significant amount of regulatory environment, especially with an active regulator like New York. Could you talk a little bit about some of those complexities that you might have encountered?
Yes, I mean, New York can be very challenging. We do have a lot of regulatory oversight. We have an ever-changing environment. A lot of rates come out, changing of rates, new programs for our customer, which are the right things to have, and trying to embed all those complexities into our systems at the rate and pace that the Public Service Commission or our regulators would like. That was one of our challenges. Julio, implementing the program was pretty significant and should help us smooth out those regulatory requirements and be able to implement them at a much faster pace than what we have been in the past. So more to come on it, but we think we're moving in the right direction.
I heard you say that AMI was a critical component of the project. Could you walk us a little bit through some of the outcomes of the implementation related to AMI?
The AMI program was a significant initiative for Con Edison and Orange and Rockland. Well over $1 billion effort, and it spanned over about 6 to 7 years. A lot of changes in the business and a lot of changes, as you can imagine, on the IT side with the systems to support that. This allowed Con Edison in the industry to start taking interval reads on a much more frequent basis, to be able to send that information over to our billing system so that we can have less estimated bills and more accurate bills. Night over night was a significant achievement and improvement for not only Con Edison, but also our customers.
Historically, budgets, timelines have been an issue for CIS projects. They're such big projects. Tell us a little bit about the outcome of your timeline and budget.
Yes, the budget for this program was just a little bit north of $500 million. The program itself started in 2018 and ended in 2023, October. And in the beginning, really at the end of 2017, full year of 2018, the program was called its pre-planning phase. And in that phase, we were doing our requirements gathering and putting together our business cases for both Con Edison and Orange and Rockland. We had to file each one of the business cases separately to the regulators. Once they were approved, we started in 2020, in that range from 2020 to 2023, October when we implemented it. And then we had a 6-month stabilization period, which ended at the end of March.
Can you tell us a little bit about the benefits and what you saw related to improvements in customer satisfaction, customer service, customer interactions?
I think from the customer service standpoint, right now, the improvements are going to be gained over time, I believe. I believe our billing accuracy is between 98 and 99% daily. Our performance has been very good with the way the system has performed since we've implemented it. Uptime, 100% since we went live. But what was really something that was important for the business and even IT was our customer satisfaction ratings never went down. Everything stayed pretty stable, I should say. Also, the customer service reps answering the call rates. In the beginning, we took a little bit of dip, but probably within the first month after that, the customer service calls started to stabilize. Yes, we did bring in bubble headcount to help us with that, and that's a good recommendation for anyone doing an implementation like this, to don't shortchange yourself on that. Make sure you have some bubble headcount that will help you stabilize your call volumes. And so I think those two items allowed us to feel comfortable. Our billing night over night with our rates between 98 and 99% with the accuracy and getting the bills out was pretty significant for us. Being able to configure the system with our rates where On average, a complex rate could take anywhere between a month to 3 months to implement in the old legacy systems. Now it's just a matter of, implementing the rate. If it's configurable, you can get it in within a week. And then, naturally got some testing. But if it's more of a complex rate, we could take upwards of a couple weeks, but well below the time it was taking us previously.
Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. And congratulations on a very well executed project, and congratulations on winning Best CIS Award.